I'm just gonna basically make shit up because I've got fucking shit planned out, and I'm like, this is never gonna work because you're all insane.
It's not a furry game. I was very surprised to see the furry. And legitimately so. There's no need to be a furry.
Or else I'd be something terrible.
I know. That's what I was wanting to do so hard.
You want to do me so hard, you massive colossal fag
Shut
nugget?
up! I don't know why I've been going so hard instead of so much lately. Should I be more left or more right? The toading is upon you.
That's right.
I hear token. I think black kid from South Park. That's it.
Hello, Fitch's character. That is a giant-ass version of your character.
Yeah. How do I remove
Oh, goddamn.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Curves in all the wrong places.
Look at her
And
pretty
that pretty
pink
pink
bonnet.
bonnet, though.
I'm gonna have to get a bigger glass of water and possibly put something in it.
Like cyanide?
By the way, do not type sexy stripper orc into Google.
I'll make sure not to do that. I was gonna do something else.
The bottom of my potato is still wet.
This
Just out of context, man.
Put it
So,
over
just
this.
no lead up to that at all.
Too
and it
big.
just sounds so weird.
Shit, where the... Oh, there it is. Right here. Alright. Got a token already.
See this shit? Nice. Nice.
Could barely even tell you use Photoshop on that.
I'm the master.
More like
Looks so
MS Paint.
Yeah, I said I figured I'll go female, but because it'll be fun when I, because I don't know what's going on.
Your mic just went again.
Really?
You gotta fix that. But anyway, Droid, new bit of backstory.
Now?
Yes,
Damn.
my character is visiting the hidden pole, since that's where she used to work. Just because of her masculine features, they thought she was a tranny. So she pulled in more tips at the hidden pole than at the masked hole.
Okay.
So the actual female that worked at the
Yeah, I thought we were all
transvestite
supposed to be
strip club.
transvestite orc strippers.
This
working
thing just
there.
got all over the place. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just a person that used to be a stripper that wants to come back to the glory days of being a stripper.
I'm a bouncer at one of the bars that I don't remember because I'm a retard. I just go to the one that looks familiar. I don't even know the name of this shit. Like, I'm a literal retard, man. Like, this is the easiest character to play. I play myself.
Okay. So.
Well, my character was supposed to be a voice actress for a puppet show, but turns out they couldn't. They didn't like her, so said because her voice was too feminine. So now she works as a stripper.
That's great. That is just great. I just. Can we start? Can we start? Can we?
All right, health problems. No, let's start this shit show.
This whole lead up has to be part of the video.
Goddamn.
Like the last 2 minutes, because it's just, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
At least let the audience know it's a lead-in.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, they'll know at this point. Because I just said it.
Hello, everyone.
Lazy editing for the win.
Oh, God.
All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D20. It's been a little while since we've had a D20 campaign, so we were going to sync back in with a little bit of a penny campaign. I gave the players an opportunity to pick a penny campaign, and they picked a joke I told them about a year and a half ago about a campaign about Stripper Half Orcs.
Wow, it has been a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Wait, this has been now stuck on your brain for over a year?
No,
As
this
we keep bringing it back.
no. It was fine. I forgot about it the moment I said it until about 6 months later when you lot started badgering me. So, welcome to the Penny Campaign Severin's Token. We're going to start the campaign in Gonna Bay City. The castle of Gonna Bay City, the central castle, is known as Hard to Take Castle. So the city's Gonna Bay Hard to Take.
God damn it.
I know it's going to be hard to take.
God damn it. And so it begins. The great shit show of our time.
Yeah.
So this is Hard to Take City. Or sorry, Gonna Bay City and Hard to Take Castle.
Good.
You work at or have some close relation with the Hidden Pole and Masked Hole stripper bars. These are specialist stripper bars that deal with more unusual clientele and more unusual desires. The Hidden Pole...
Question.
Yep.
Is the stripper bar supposed to look like a bunch of black knights on horses trying to kill me? As on the right, you got a random orc stripper with an X around it.
It popped up and I don't know how to get rid of it, man.
There we go. Sorry about that.
There you go.
That is like the line
Thank
he
you.
uses all the time. Just
Thank
popped
you.
up and I don't know how to get rid of it. Maybe you can help me with this.
Hey, it doesn't work as often as you think, though. It never works.
The main god in this particular empire you live in is Severin. His full title is Severin de Limbs.
Does he like to sever limbs?
He does thoroughly like to sever limbs.
I never would have guessed it, man.
Ooh, I can introduce him
Great
to
powers of seduction.
His sister Smashin is the female god of the empire. There are all sorts of possible second names for Smashing the god, but we'll leave it at that for now. Severin Empire borders with Griffin Empire, and the two have been at war for quite a while. Severin Empire is resided by orcs, half-orcs, goblins, gnolls, humans, elves, and Griffin Empire is primarily humans and elves. And there have been border skirmishes between the two for quite a long time. About 200 years ago, there was a massive invasion. The city was surrounded, and it was the Blood Mages, the phlebotomites, that came to the city's aid. Things have ticked along in the last 200 years. There's border skirmishes backwards and forwards, but nothing major. But things starting to get, over the last couple of months, things have started to get a little bit more heated, and people have started to become a little bit more worried. The phlebotomites are doing additional collections of blood as donations as they go around in their mobile donation wagon, which is known as the blood wagon. And people can go and give blood to the phlebotomites. Other magical groups are doing research in the Magus Hill, in the Mage Guild Hall, and the city is a little bit high on tension. But for now, at least, things seem to be reasonably calm. So we start our adventure in the Hidden Pole. We start our adventure in the gambling room of the Hidden Pole. Oop, wait. I want this one. And...
So which one are we?
You are the bouncers, you are the serving girls, you are people visiting the Hidden Pole. Most of you have some association with the Hidden Pole. I know that Mr. 50 is playing Clug, who is a bouncer at the Hidden Pole. Blaster Toad, you are playing Gronkarella, who is an ex-stripper, I believe.
Yep.
And Vagabond, you are playing Sapphire, who is a current stripper.
Current stripper, yes.
Current stripper at the Hidden Pole. So the gambling room is thriving, and there's noise and shouting. There's a few arguments going on. Klug has probably had to separate a few people over the occasional drunken feud over who won a particular hand of cards. But for the most part, things are quiet. Sitting in one corner of the bar, kind of watching more than anything else, is a regular. His name is Coldyheart.
Coldyheart?
Coldyheart. Coldyheart is a member of the Magus Guild. He is a blood magus. He's one of the goblins that have been quite heavily altered by the use of blood magic. He's a reasonably friendly person. He tips quite well. He's not particularly handsy. He's generally well liked. But he seems to be a little bit distracted tonight. And every now and then he draws a small red crystal from his pocket and sort of gazes at it for a while. But the night is ticking on regularly. Is there anything you guys would like to do or be doing?
Well, Sapphire's just going to be doing her job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I'll-
Gronkarella, remembering days of old and past flings and whatnot, is going to be sitting pondering to herself while watching Sapphire and lusting after days past.
Okay.
I'll roll perception to do my job. Oh, really? I apparently have 2 previous failures. There you go.
Okay, so Klug is reasonably knowledgeable about the bar, reasonably knowledgeable about what goes on, and she can pick up on the little tensions going on here and there. People seem a little bit more tense tonight than they usually would. Everyone seems a little bit more tense tonight than they usually are. There have been a few more fistfights than there should have been. So Glug is on a slightly more heightened
I'm
awareness.
on edge.
Yeah, a little bit on edge.
Okay.
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 Gronkarella, she's looking up at Sapphire stripping and enjoying the show, but from a memorabilia sort of sense, from a nostalgia sense.
It's like my breasts used to bounce like that.
It's
Now
true.
they more resemble that of an old man's testicles. Wrinkly.
You know what the funny
Sometimes
thing
I hit
is?
my
Yeah.
knees.
You know what the funny thing is? Sapphire doesn't have tits.
Are they as hairy though as an old man's testicles?
Probably.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I knew exactly what this
We
campaign
had
was
to
going to be.
start it somewhere. Oh.
So, could Gronkarella, could you give me a perception roll, please?
15.
15.
17.
Okay.
Oh,
Minus 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just got that.
Okay, so Gronkarella. In the corner near where our Blood Magus Colderheart is sitting, there's a pool of smoke. Looks a little bit like cigarette smoke, but cigarette smoke normally goes up. This is a pool of smoke sitting on the floor. Just kind of sitting there. Every now and then it will get a little bit bigger, but for the most part it's just kind of curled up in the corner, almost like a cat. At first you thought it might have been some kind of large grey rat curled up in the corner, but it seems to be smoke. It gets pushed about by the wind when people walk past it. But the bar is thriving and everything's going on. Colderheart gets up and goes and gambles a little bit of money at one of the tables, but seems a bit distracted, so he's losing over and over again. Klug, there's a fist fight going on over at the Magic the Gathering table. I don't know.
I knew it. There's always a fight going on there.
Your microphone's cut, 50. You're just sitting there waving your hands and talking to yourself.
I hit the mute button. That's what I did. I'm retarded. Hey! So I'm going to hoist them apart like this and then crack their heads together.
Okay, roll a grapple check for me.
Plus my Bonus. What the hell is it? Am I retarded? Yes, I am. Okay.
What's your bonus?
I cannot seem to find it.
It should be in your combat section. It should be base attack bonus plus strength.
Oh, +6.
+6. Okay. So, Gronkruller grabs hold of a sort of young dwarf with a shock of ginger hair and a sort of thin elf of indeterminate gender.
You're
And
talking about Clug, right?
Yes, me.
yep, Clug. Grabs hold of a ginger-haired dwarf and a thin elf of indeterminate gender, and bangs their head together while the two of them are still cursing at each other about whether or not the Black Lotus is a legitimate card to use in tournament play.
Bringing in other games. How dare you?
How dare I? Terrible, terrible human being, man. Okay, so because this is a penny campaign and it's going to be a little bit more scripted, a little bit more story-driven, this is your last chance to do things before shit hits fan, so to speak.
Oh no, the place is gonna explode. In all due seriousness, though, I think Sapphire might want to walk up to some dude with a give a private dance to a guy with a particularly large weapon. To the guy with the largest weapon, yes.
Perform check.
Is this a physical
Like,
weapon or
Euphemism or yeah?
Both.
Like, are you okay? So
All
you
right.
so is that 2%?
All right, critical fail. Hold on. Does this macro? This macro doesn't even work. All right, never mind. The macro doesn't work. Sorry.
Oh, I just
And we're off to a flying start.
All right, I got the macro to work, but we'll make it 1 anyway.
Automatic critical 1 for failure to write macro.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sapphire, go ahead.
I mean, take your pick. 1 or 15. Which one's funnier?
Sapphire gets ready and walks across the stage, and she picks out a high roller, and she sort of slips down off the stage to give him a private lap dance. As she slips down off the stage, her foot slips into the smoke that Blastotoad has spotted, and the smoke sort of leaps up and wraps around her leg and drags her off balance. And as it does, it seems to be reacting with a kind of sort of living sentience as it kind of curls its way up around Sapphire. Calderheart's eyes flick round, and he's immediately on his feet, as well as several other mages who happen to be visiting the establishment. This has drawn a lot of attention. Calderheart curses quite vehemently in a dialect of goblin that belongs to the water goblins, and pulls the red crystal out from his pocket. And then the bar explodes.
Oh my god, it actually does?
all because you rolled a 1. Great job, man.
Holy shit.
The wall of the bar blows inward, and the side of the bar cascades into the bar. People are screaming, there's yelling. Could people roll reflex saves for me?
Alright, let's see if this macro works.
Oh, what?
Shit. Well, hold on. Alright, wait, reflex save.
So I got 15.
Alright, yep, 4.
15. Yay.
There we go. That's what I wanted to roll. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. Sapphire takes a... Sorry, I was getting a bit confused by that then. My macros are confusing. Sapphire takes a chunk of rock to the side of the shoulder, and blood trickles down her shoulder. most of the rest of you get out unharmed. Several of the serving girls and a couple of people take knocks,
So did you say the wall was blown in or blown out?
blown inwards.
In.
Mm.
And what blew the wall in becomes apparent very quickly, because standing outside in the street is this gentleman. And surrounding him are armoured knights, men in full plate armour, with masks covering their faces. And the screaming kicks up a notch. People start running in different directions. Calderheart spins round and raises both his hands, and blood flows from little vials around his hips, where he keeps little samples of blood. Flows up, and it seems to crawl up his arms onto his hands. And he barks a word in Ancient Goblin, and a bolt of frozen blood snaps across the room straight at this man, who waves his hand, and the blood bolt shatters. Calderheart looks a little bit shocked and curses again in Ancient Goblin, and then makes for the back door as fast as he fucking can.
Or
And while all this is going on and everybody's fleeing, Gorilla grabs the closest drink from a now empty table and just sits there looking at the now open wall and the figure standing therein, and smiles to herself just like old times while taking a swig.
I'm gonna roll to detect evil on Big Blue Bastard here.
Okay, roll detect evil, dude.
Seven.
Okay. Basically, you don't really have to roll to detect evil. I'm just making you now roll because it's funny.
I was like, okay, I'll roll then. Douche.
Detect evil, you just sacrifice an action, and you can use the equivalent of the detect evil spell as a paladin.
Okay. Roll to detect
so-
evil. You don't actually have to roll. I'm just being a douchebag. Yeah.
So,
Whoa! Droid is an awesome person. He is not a douchebag.
He is. Fine.
someone's
He's
trying to
aligned
survive by flattering the DM.
with me. Doesn't work. I've learned that.
So, Klug turns around and looks with a stern eye at this man dressed in blue with glowing blue eyes and a lightning bolt in his hands. And surprisingly, she determines that he's quite evil.
But he's wearing blue and he has blue eyes, so
Yeah.
he's automatically a good guy.
Exactly. Blue is usually associated with good, so I'm...
Anyway,
You know.
Sapphire goes
Okay.
to the bar and, gets a drink too. And wipes off the blood on her shoulder.
Okay, so everyone else is fleeing, but our three main characters have decided to stay and have a drink.
I'm just staring at him. I am not drinking. I'm just staring at him like a...
I mean, it's either that or to go to another strip bar. Which I doubt they're going to take good old Sapphire.
Okay, so
So we just have this figure menacingly standing there now?
well,
Like, are combat rolls going to ensue, or do we have actions to take?
well, basically, he's going to take an action that I'm going to give you guys a round of actions.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the only people who aren't really running are two magi, one Knoll magi and one Orc magi, who were also in the bar at the time.
He's going to die.
Both of them saw Calderheart run for it, but neither of them seem particularly phased by Calderheart running for it. So both of them stand up and they look at each other, and then both of them start throwing magic. One of them raises his hands and snaps his fingers, and several of the bar's tables get up and charge at the person dressed in blue.
Okay.
The orc, in the meanwhile, smiling, reaches his hand into his jacket and pulls out what looks like a self-pleasure aid carved out of wood. And he says a few words in Orcish and gestures with this length of carved wood. And several of the knights collapse to their knees, clutching at their crotches.
The classic,
Oh,
the classic wood manipulation trick works every time.
technically, according to the stats for the item, technically it is a spell that's from 3.5 edition D&D, which causes people's equipment to heat up if you have a facsimile of it.
No!
He's basically cooking their crotches.
They all got hot pants.
You are the worst person. That is fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, so the blue magus looks at the tables that are charging at him, reaches into his belt and pulls out a scroll, flicks it through the air. The scroll bursts into flames, and so do the tables. Actions, please.
Before I do anything, is my mouse on me, or do I have him locked up in his cage for my shift?
That would be Clug's choice. Do you carry your mouse?
I would usually have him locked away for shift, and then
Okay.
retrieve him after.
So he's locked
I will
away at the moment.
I will charge at the Madras, and I'll try to take him down. Just roll charge him, bull rush.
Okay, so what's your base attack bonus?
6.
And your strength?
Right. 6 and 5.
Okay, 6 plus 5. So he is. And 1 second, let me check his stats.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you charge at him, and he raises his hand, and you basically just run straight chest first into his hand and just stop.
Damn it! I'm 310 pounds. That's not okay. Aw. Okay, fine. Well, that's that done
Okay.
then.
Vagabond, want to do your thing?
Sure. So then I rip off my clothes. But in all due seriousness, Sapphire is just gonna like take her beer or alcohol or whatever, and walk out of the now destroyed bar.
Like, I got a shoulder wound. I don't get paid enough for this.
I'm getting
Awesome.
pissed and going home.
Okay. So, Drunk Gorilla sits up after finishing the drink she has acquired from an empty table and saunters towards this large fellow in blue.
Mhm.
With a roll of 15 towards diplomacy. She grabs his hand and gently moves it from Clug's chest onto hers and says, well, how about Big Boy in Blue? We go upstairs and make some aqua. Green, blue, me and you. Do I diffuse the situation with diplomacy?
And I initially thought,
Tense motive roll. Okay, so he senses your motives, but your motives are to take him upstairs and shag him, so he's a bit confused.
Wow. Well done.
to which point Sapphire runs back in, saying, "Make some aqua!" And then she pulls out her scythe, which is also a crossbow.
Okay.
Where's the tie into the... Never mind. Whatever.
This is going to become a very,
So-
very short penny campaign.
So completely out of character. Y'all remember the Rick and Morty episode with the Mr. Meeseeks and the old woman goes, "What the fuck is going on?"
And the part where it goes lubba wubba dub dub, and then
Like,
everyone
what-
dies.
Like,
Yeah,
what is
no,
going-
we don't.
I'm so confused, dude. God damn. Oh, okay.
Okay. So the
Good
group
luck.
of knights move forwards into the bar, throwing what patrons remain out of the way, headed for the two magi that are in the bar. You fucked up my ability to say the word magus. and the large blue gentleman looks at Gronkarella and gets a confused look on his face, and just looks at his hand on her chest, and just slowly just pulls it back, and is just like, and his eyes sort of start glowing slightly less as he gets a little bit sort of like confused. And then he goes, I have no time for this. And his voice grows stronger and his eyes start glowing again. And he flicks his hands. And Gronkarella and Glug are thrown back about 20 feet backwards into the bar. And he marches forwards towards the two magi who are currently being restrained by the knights. And he looks between the two magi and he says to both of them, well, where is it? I know it was here. Actions.
I'm gonna haul ass to my mouse and get out of there. Cause I'm retarded, but I'm not stupid.
It's never a good thing when Toad rolls.
With a roll of 19, as I'm pushed backwards, I land quite gracefully as I perform a dance to become upright upon my feet.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
Fair
That's
enough.
quite an impressive
Damn.
dance. Draws a little bit of an eye
Yeah.
from some of the soldiers.
Mm-hmm. I love just how every time you cough and laugh, your whole
Camera
image
just explodes.
shakes because you're on a laptop. It's great. Oh.
Sorry. I'm dying, that's all. I went to breathe in and I choked on literally nothing. Like, literally nothing. That's all. I'm just dying.
Stupidity is so tense you can choke on it.
Okay,
It is.
so with you guys leaving the bar, with Sapphire going first, followed by Glug and his mouse, and finally Gronkarella, you find the city is... One might say the city was under siege, but that would imply that the enemy were outside the walls. The city is chaos.
Oh, fuck.
It's
So
nighttime.
It's basically Detroit.
It's basically true. It's it's nighttime. The sky is black, but the horizon is glowing orange. The city streets are awash with orcs, goblins, half orcs, humans, elves, dwarves. There's even the occasional troll, and huge numbers of people in armor of a variety of sorts. There's cracks and whistling sounds from around as members of the Grand Magus College from Magus Hill burst through doorways and attack the knights, only to be fought back by humans in long robes with glowing symbols across them. The city has sort of exploded into absolute chaos in what seems like less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes ago, you were all experiencing a pretty regular night. Roll spot checks, please.
God damn. Oh no.
Yeah, 2.
What is spot based on it again? Is that wisdom?
Yep.
7.
Oh, so 1. For me, at least.
So
I got an
one,
even 5.
1, 5, and 7. Oh, good God! This is going to be a terrible, terrible petty campaign. Please
We
roll.
noticed that we have feet. Is that
Right.
what this sort of thing is?
Jesus Christ. Okay,
Congrats. Hooray.
you notice nothing. Moving on. What would you like to do?
Um,
Well,
So
what do you
part of
guys
the
want to
city
do
are we
first?
actually about
Yeah.
in here? Like, where are we closest to?
Okay, so if you look at Tattic Market, which is the covered area above the Magus College,
Mhm.
Yep.
Tattic Market is the big covered market, and to the left of that you've got the area where you would find the hidden pole.
The untouched hole. Yeah,
The
I
untouched
see
hole. That was a name that I was experimenting with before I finished deciding the name. And I forgot to change it when I was putting all the...
It works It's the area of town.
Yes.
There you go. It's, you know. All right, that works. Okay,
The
I'd
untouched
say...
hole is where all the unsavory bars are.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to the Magus College, down from the market, across from the sort of slum square. It's the right place for it.
All right, so what is directly south of us? What's down in that area, that road?
So, travelling directly south, you've got a few of the sort of things that supply the Magus Guild. So you've got apothecarists, you've got clothiers, you've got tailors and leather workers. They're the actual manufacturing areas for these things. The actual places where the potions are brewed that are then sold at Tattic Market.
All right, then I will head towards the market.
Gonna head
Before we run there, should we run towards the boats? Because there's like boats at dock.
Yeah. I'm just heading towards the market because it's sort of towards the same area. East is way out, it looks like. Northeast. Or... no, west. Either way, I'm heading northeast towards the market.
Okay. By the way, guys. By the way, guys. I have spent in total probably about 30 hours planning this penny campaign, and you guys have fucked it up already.
I knew it.
How? The wall had to have been supposed to explode, and the guy looking for little stones. So
Either that, or it wasn't supposed to explode in the first place.
No, it was supposed to explode, but like you had like let's just put it like this. You haven't met up with the character you were supposed to meet up with because you've rolled shitly and made weird decisions.
you knew where this whole thing was going.
I knew. And then I say, roll spot checks, and none of you roll in the double digits. So for fuck's sake.
True.
So,
Okay.
I say we take this time to get to know each other.
50, you muted yourself again.
Am I back?
Yep.
I am Sapphire Dandelion,
Hey.
Yep.
and I love weapons.
Okay.
I'm Clog. Worship Craig. Just God. Most Juju. No
Congratulations, Gronk. How about you lovely lady?
That I am, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay, so with the start of the campaign started with our players now in a war-torn city with explosions and flashes of light all around them, having completely fucked up my campaign already, and having introduced themselves as a lovely lady, a worshipper of the just God, and a lover of weapons. We shall leave it there for this episode, and we will come back in the next episode to find out what happens next. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.